嘿，大家好，我是石老师。今天我们要学很多有用的字，都是与木有关系的。So our first character today, 木. This means tree or timber or wood. 木. And note its pronunciation is the exact same as eyeball, which we see under kan. 木. Now, it is seldom used by itself. In fact, never used by itself. However, it's often used to create words related to wood. For instance, 木头, meaning piece of wood. And it's also a common radical in other characters. For instance, our first character today, 米, rice. 米, 米. So it is a 木 with 两点 on top. Our next character today, 楼. Low. This means building or story of a building. Now, when we say building, we mean 2 floors or more. Low. Now, you can see the character is composed of mu, mi, and then at the bottom, nu, meaning woman. Low. Our next character today, shu, tree. Shu. Now, this character is composed of mu and dui, meaning correct or towards, facing. This character can be used by itself to mean the word tree. It'll often be compared with other things, though, or paired with other things. Shu. Next, we have xiang. Xiang, to want or to think of, carries all of these meanings. Xiang. Now note the character is built out of mu, tree, mu, eye, and xin, meaning heart. Xiang. Now our next set of characters are all based on this piece, which we've actually seen before. Shi. This means food, and we've typically seen it as a radical, as seen in all of the characters below. Shi. So our first character today, 饱. This character, 饱, means full, as in you've eaten and you are now full. So we have food being wrapped. Maybe your stomach is wrapping around all of the food. 饱. Next, we have the character for restaurant, 馆. Now that piece on the right is a common phonetic symbol, which will usually be pronounced 馆 or something very similar. And the piece on the left, again, 吃, meaning food. Last, 饿. This is simply the onomatopoeia for hunger. So it's like your stomach is aching and you're like, oh, 我要吃饭. To be hungry or to be starved. Now we have 3 more characters that we're going to learn to pair with these to make useful words. The first, 林. This means woods. So literally we have a tree and then we add another tree next to it. And that makes woods. 林. Now the character below that, 山, meaning forest. So literally we have a tree and then another tree to make woods. We add one more and we have a larger woods. We have a forest. Sun, much like the sun in the sky. Sun. No, it is not the same as the pronunciation for 3. San. This is sun. And our last character today, 像, meaning to have the appearance of, or to appear, or shapeliness. It's also used to make the word elephant. 像. And arguably looks a little bit like an elephant. 像. That is all for our characters today. For today's words, we're going to start with some very routine, basic words, and then we're actually going to learn some relatively advanced ones. So our first word today, 森林. 森林, forest. So forest, woods, equals forest. This is the 2-character word for forest. 森林. Next, we have 玉米. 玉米, corn. So jade rice is corn. 玉米. 树木. 树木. Tree, wood, or tree is the word tree. Now, 树 can be used by itself to mean tree. However, as we know, we like 2-character words. And 树木 provides us that benefit. 树木, tree. 米饭. 米饭. Rice, food, is simply cooked rice, or a meal made of rice. 米饭. 大楼. 大楼. Big building is our 2-character word for building. 大楼. 楼下. 楼下. Building down or under. Now this means, remember, when we have 下 or 上 or 左右, etc., any kind of directional item next to a noun, we're saying at the bottom, or whatever that direction is, of the noun. So in this case, building below or under, we're saying at the bottom of the building or at the ground floor. 楼下. 楼下. 上楼. 上楼. So up building. This means to go up the stairs or to go up to the top of the building, or at least a floor above you. 上楼. 上楼. 吃饱了. 吃饱了. Eat full了, to have eaten your fill or to be full. 吃饱了. 饭馆. 饭馆. Food, restaurant. Simply a restaurant. 饭馆. 想到. 想到. So to think and arrive at is to say to think of something. So to think of you, to think of yesterday's homework. This can mean to be kind of like to be reminded of something, or simply I thought of this. 想到. 想象. 想象. Imagination. Imagination. 想象. 想象力. 想象力. So while the first word is literally the concept of imagination, 想象力 is a person's ability to imagine. Now in English, we will also simply say imagination. But in Chinese, these are fundamentally different concepts. 想象 is kind of like a place. It's where the imagination happens, right? 想象力 is your actual ability to imagine. Kind of like creativity, but a little different. 想象力. And lastly, the word elephant. 大象. 大象. So literally the big shape or the big appearance is elephant. 大象. That's all for our words. For today's grammar and sentences, we will talk about the difference between 想, 要, and 会. Then discuss some different uses of 想 when paired with other characters. Lastly, how are 上 and 下different when put before or after a noun? So, 想, to want or to desire to. Now, up until this point, we've used 要 for this meaning. However, 想 is often a more appropriate character to use. 我想去中国. I want to go to China. Now, how is this different from 我要去中国? 我想去中国 simply means I want to do this. I have the desire to do this, but it does not express intention. If you say 我要去中国, that's much closer to I will. But it's I will in the sense of I want to or I have a desire to, that I will probably fulfill. Now, 要, we have to remember, has one other meaning. Obligation. Must. 我要去中国 can also mean I must go to China out of some kind of obligation. Now, this is different from 会. 我会去中国 simply means will. When you use 会, there is no obligation and there is no desire. It is a simple statement of a future fact. So to make this really clear, whenever we want to say want or would like to, we should use 想. Because 要 has two meanings. Either want to with an intention, but more often must or should do something. And last, 会 means very simply will. So as you can see, 想 is a very useful character for want. However, it also often takes on the meaning of to think or to think of, anything to do with thinking. When it's paired with characters, this is especially the case. So let's look at some common character pairings. 我想到你. 想到, to think of, or to be reminded of something. 我想到你 simply means I thought of you. Let's put that in a more complex sentence. 我在森林看大树的时候，我想到了你。When I was in the forest looking at the big trees, I thought of you. 想到了你. So as you can see, 想到 functions very much like the English I thought of or to think of. In this case, maybe we had been to this forest before. So as I'm walking through it, I'm thinking of you. 我在森林看大树的时候，我想到了你。To think of. Another common usage of 想 is in the phrase imagination. 想象, or the ability to imagine. 想象力. Now remember, in English, these are the same idea. We just say imagination. His imagination is great. What an imagination. In Chinese, we will differentiate between kind of the space where imagine happens, right? The imagination, and your actual ability to imagine. So an example, 我的想象力比他好. My ability to imagine, or my imagination, is better than his. 我的想象力比他好. The last usage of 想 we're going to use is 想法, meaning literally thinking ability, or sorry, thinking method. 想法. And this is very commonly used to mean someone's thought, the way someone thinks, someone's process of thinking. So, 他的想法跟老人一样。他的想法跟老人一样。His way of thinking with old people, the same. Or in other words, he thinks just like old people. Note here you could not use 想 by itself. You must say 想法. Because what we're really saying is how he thinks. 他的想法跟老人一样. The last thing we will talk about today is how 上 and 下 are used. Specifically, the difference between them before and after a noun. So, our first example, 下车 and 车下. Now, whenever 下 comes after a noun, as we know, it means the relative location or position. Things are a little weird, however, when we put it before a noun. Same with 上. So if we say something like 下车, that means to get off of the car or to get out of the car, off of the bus, etc. Whereas 车下 is a location, it simply means under the bus. The thing to pay attention to here is whether 下 or 上 come before or after the noun. That is the sole determining factor. Another example, 上楼, 楼上. 上楼 means go up, it's a verb before the noun, go up building. This will actually mean to go up the building, or literally in Chinese, go up the stairs. Go upstairs. And 楼上 means upstairs. Lastly, 下楼, 楼下. 下楼, to go downstairs. 楼下, downstairs. So the physical location or position downstairs. Now, something to pay attention to in each of these is that when 上 or 下 come before the noun, the verb will depend on what it is we're talking about. So if it's before a car, we're talking about getting on or off of the car. If it's before something like building, we're actually talking about going up or coming down the building. In other words, going up or down stairs. That is implied. Let's put these in some examples. 他的家在楼上。他的家在楼上。His house is upstairs. 他的家在楼上。你不要上楼，我们都在楼下。You don't need to come upstairs. We are already downstairs, or we are all downstairs. 你不用上楼，我们都在楼下。So again, when 上 or 下 are before a noun, it's an action. When after a noun, it's a position. That's all we have for today. Please go back through these example sentences and make sure that they actually make sense to you. And if you have extra time, write some sentences using our words from the word section. 大家, I'll see you in class. As always, 加油!